has got the best laugh in Hollywood.
I love him.
I am so excited about watching this trailer.
This is going to be perfect.
Can we turn the lights? I got a meeting after this.
Well, I'm joined by the front's Kristen Amiot and Bianca Farmarkis to talk about Apple TV's latest parody of Hollywood. It's called The Studio, and it's made by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg. It comes in the tradition of a long line of satires of Hollywood made by Hollywood, often featuring superstars. My favourite of the genre is Tropic Thunder.
Everybody knows you never go full retard. What do you mean?
Ben Stiller's tribute to Hollywood starring Tom Cruise and a whole host of other stars. The show starts with a famous studio producer who's been sacked and the people who are jostling for her job, one of whom is Seth Rogen. The character who's been sacked is called in the show Patty. We find her at her home in the Hollywood Hills throwing down cups of tea as if they are vodka because, of course, this being Hollywood, she is a sober alcoholic.
It's good forever.
She's based on Amy Pascal, who was famously the boss of Sony Pictures, who was sacked after Sony's big hack. And she's played to perfection by Catherine O'Hara. It's a remarkable performance, isn't it?
It is a remarkable performance, and I think after Schitt's Creek, Catherine O'Hara, she is a titan of the industry. The amazing thing about the casting of The Studio is obviously you have Seth Rogen, you have people like Catherine O'Hara, you have Catherine Hahn, who is having a bit of a moment herself.
She plays a crazed marketing executive.
A marketing executive, which, she does particularly well. You've got Ike Barinholtz, who he and Seth Rogen, their chemistry together in comedy is amazing. And you also have all of these amazing cameos.
He black. I'm the motherfucking Kool-Aid man, all right?
The premise is that Seth Rogen gets the job from a sinister and frankly terrifying studio boss, Bryan Cranston. And then he has to immediately wrestle with the problem that lost Patty her job, which is that she refused to make big budget, entirely commercial movies as vanity projects for big brands. The one that he's immediately asked to make is a movie about Kool-Aid, the soft drink, which is kind of like being asked to make a movie about Fanta.
Yeah.
And
a great film, I might add. I think it'd be fantastic.
He initially thinks he can do it while also staying true to his love for film, doesn't he?
It is a very chaotic viewer experience to see him go through this kind of emotional process of justifying to himself or coming to the realization that I need to do this if I want to enable these other projects that quote unquote deserve to be made. He takes a diversity angle to it where he kind of reviews the people that have been cast in the Kool-Aid movie and realize that they are all very white. And so they decide that, okay, we'll give it a more diverse cast. And then they realise that kind of leads them into a very tokenistic area. And then the writers and the director realise, well, then are we the right people to be doing this? And it's this insane cat and mouse process of just getting this thing to CinemaCon so they can understand how the audience feels about it.
He comes up early with what he thinks is a genius plan when Martin Scorsese comes in to pitch a movie to him, which happens to be about the Jonestown Massacre, where famously everybody drank the Kool-Aid.
Okay, so what do you want to call the movie?
Kool-Aid.
Let's talk about cinematic technique. Episode 2 is called One-er, and it's about a movie where a shot is being shot in one take. And the director, played by Sarah Polley, is very proud that this is a true one-er. Bianca, you're a film school grad. Is it fun to see a Hollywood production parodying the nerdy tendency of Hollywood to try really difficult things like these one takes?
I think what's fun about it is the idea that it's finally we can reclaim the art form, because filmmaking has done so many things. People have turned away from things made with CGI, or you just get a bit over it. There's that fatigue that everything can be more or less manufactured or engineered in the back end. And, no one wants to learn about that because it's boring. But the idea that you do see these idiosyncrasies come out, and this is like the process that you get to lampoon and also understand, is just so entertaining to me.
Seth Rogen is very lovable, and that brings us to what kind of treatment this production is giving the Hollywood executives who are able to say yes or no to projects. Previous versions of this kind of idea, like Tropic Thunder, casts Hollywood decision makers as basically pure evil. This is not like that, is it, Chrissy?
It's not, and that's probably got a lot to do with Seth Rogen himself. Maybe he has encountered a lot of executives who are in this exact predicament, in that they do want to create art, but the commercial interests of the industry in which they've chosen to build a career simply does not allow that if they want to survive.
Yeah, I think it's probably like anything, isn't it? You know, there's any pursuit involves a compromise between what you really want to be doing and what you must do to pay the bills.
What does that say about us as the audience, though? Because you're looking at this and we can all objectively say that a movie about Kool-Aid is dumb. Every time you look at IMDb right now, 90% of what you're seeing in the new trailers is a remake or a repeat. And yet that's what keeps getting made. So you think there's this disconnect between audience members like us who do want that kind of, you know, if not highbrow or artistic or art house, you do want that level of kind of originality and ingenuity. That's what you expect from these people. Yet then you see those studio bosses saying, okay, well, this thing's going to make $1 billion guaranteed. These two groups, the audience and the entertainer, seem to want the same thing, and yet we keep coming back to this safe, how to put it into words, popular medium.
But what's wrong with popularity? You know, the social media feeds now are full of teenage boys packing out cinemas, and I've been in one of these cinemas, throwing popcorn in the air and singing along to the Minecraft movie.
What's this junk?
An ender pearl. Teleports you to wherever you throw it.
Yeah, right.
And that was the only one I had. No biggie.
And I kind of think, isn't it wonderful that they're enjoying the experience of sitting in a cinema together and having fun?
Yeah, and I think that's where the Barbie reference is particularly poignant. Yes, it was very commercially successful, but ultimately it did, in many ways, start a conversation about the experience of women living in the world today and about feminism and about the patriarchy through some very funny Ryan Gosling moments.
But I'm a man.
But not a doctor.
Can I talk to a doctor?
You are talking to a doctor.
And I need a clicky pen?
No.
A sharp thing?
No.
There he is. Doctor!
Somebody get security.
And on that press tour, Margot Robbie quite explicitly said we wanted to make a movie that would bring people back to the cinema. That experience of going to the movies with your friends, with your family, seeing something that you either enjoy or didn't enjoy, and that you can talk about it after. It becomes part of the culture. So I don't think there's something negative about that, except maybe for the poor people who have to go and clean up the cinemas after the Minecraft movie.
The fact that this critique of Hollywood and exploration of all those issues is showing on television screens at home, where we stay because we don't want to go out to the movies anymore, is also one of those circular self-referential moments, isn't it?
They even say it in the show where he says we should have just made this with Apple so they could give us all the money and we have to change nothing.